Rich, thanks for joining us. Give us a bit of background on your journey and where it started in MMA and combat sport.
I started at 9 years old. I got introduced to martial arts through Muay Thai, where I trained in Malaysia and Thailand for quite a few years and competed there. I then had the opportunity to immigrate to the US, and that's where I kind of got introduced to mixed martial arts, introduced to the ground systems like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. And in the US, I kind of dabbled in some coaching with some of the fighters there, and all of a sudden the next thing I was full-time coaching there. So it wasn't kind of, I was forced into it in a way, but it was for the best. I believe I'm a better coach than an athlete. From there I moved back to South Africa, and when I came to South Africa I didn't see much interest in mixed martial arts in the country. It was very small, very young. So I opened up my first gym when I got back here at about 22, and the rest is history, and standing now with 5 Foot Militia and Gracie Bar Sunninghill, being the most dominant mixed martial arts school in Africa. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving being a coach more than anything.
And give us a bit of a description of how that's evolved for you from where you started coaching to where you are today.
I think even a year from now, it will be different. As a coach, I got to study all the time, evolve all the time. There was a lot of experimenting back in the days, taking different methods and understanding, trying to understand athletes better. And the early days was tough, it was rough, trying to experiment what works, what doesn't work. Fast forward to now, 10 years later nearly, I think I've got a great system. It's more on education and not on such a hard work grind ethic. We use a lot more knowledge and science to make fighters understand what they need to do, not trying to get them to run through walls every day. So in terms of that, it's changed quite a lot. In terms of myself, I've matured a lot as a coach. Trying not to be stagnant, trying not to be egotistical, just trying to learn different things every day, and just trying to better every day 1% better it as a coach, because if I better as a coach, then my athletes are going to be better athletes every day.
And I think a lot of people have seen FFM of today and the last couple of years, but if you'll give us also the progression of FFM from where it started and where it is today.
FFM was a very small community gym. The same thing, we kind of fell into the fight scene. We had one individual that wanted to fight, and it kind of just like lit a fire from there, and all of a sudden we had the biggest team of professional athletes competing in EFC, and we were very focused on athletes, on MMA athletes. We're kind of now, I've got my system for people that want to be professional MMA athletes, and I'm focusing a lot more on the community and general classes, the average Joe that wants to come in, train, put his suits on, go to work. I'm kind of got a balance now. I've balanced the professional scene, and I've balanced the community and the general average Joe scene. So I think the gym is in a really good space right now in terms of we understand both sides of the party, and it's not so focused on athletes at its own, that kind of consumes you. So we have a great skill set of general community guys that could compete if they wanted, because how I coach a professional athlete doesn't differ from how I coach a guy that has a 9-to-5 job. It's the same coaching. It's just one chooses one path and the other chooses the other path. So I think FFM with Gracie Bar Sunninghill now, we've got a good balance of that.
And give us your standout moments as a coach.
Well, definitely I've got a few that stand out quite a bit. I mean, a few years ago I did an article and explaining that one of my biggest goals in South Africa when I came to this country was that I wanted to create the first UFC bred trained out of South Africa in the UFC, and guys competing overseas and doing well. And right now, I got the first guy, Gareth McClellan, to win in the UFC. That was a big highlight of me. And then just all my boys, guys that are going over, JP Base, Chad Hannekorp, Demart, Boyd Allen, all of these guys that are going overseas now as well and competing and doing well. And that at the end of the day was my second goal. The first goal was to dominate the South African MMA scene, which we did. And now it's just to go overseas and prove ourselves that, and you know, it takes time, and you know, getting my steps forward to there. So that was definitely a standing out point for me as a coach.
And for those that don't know and want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
You can find us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, Fight Fit Militia, or Gracie Bar Sunninghill.
Thanks, Rich.
Cool.